Logan's car speeds down the highway as fast as possible. However silent their drive was, it was anything but calm. Eyes were constantly peeled for any sentries and/or law enforcement. Kaden lets out a suppressed cough as he stares out the window, wiping the soot off his face with his jacket sleeve. As Logan's left hand clings to the steering wheel, he rubs his cheek with his right hand, pulling it away shortly thereafter to look at the soot his fingers had collected. With a low breath, he closes his hand into a fist. In the back seat behind Kaden, Ursa rests her elbow on the door's armrest and her mouth on her fist. Her eyes dart back and forth between her two sentries before turning back towards the outside. After about an hour of driving, Logan slowly pulled into a small and relatively isolated gas station. There were a total of 4 pumps sharing 2 neighboring units, and there was a white SUV at one of them. Logan parks next to one of the pumps diagonal to the other car and he waits, hoping that they leave soon. Fortunately, they do, and he quickly but cautiously exits the vehicle and steps over to the pump. There, he pulls out his debit card, and before he inserts it into the reader, he freezes. Sweat begins to form on his brow as he supposes that law enforcement could detect where they were if he used his card. He wasn't even entirely sure if the police were even looking for them, but he didn't want to take the risk. He swiftly checks his surroundings as he slides his card back into his wallet. He cracks open the car door and says, "I'm gonna pay inside with cash, alright?" "Okay," Kaden says as he proceeds to unbuckle his seatbelt. "No, I need you two to stay here."
Did you not learn anything from our most recent encounter?
"Yeah, Logan, those guys could attack us at any second." I know, Logan replies. "But Ursa's in a hospital gown and I don't want her to be left alone. I'll have my phone ready if you see anything." He shuts the door and rushes into the gas station. Inside was a rather small and somewhat vintage-looking convenience store, and a young man with patchy brown facial hair at the plexiglass-adorned counter. Logan steps over to him. "Hey man, I need 40 on that gas pump out there." The attendant takes the money from Logan and begins pressing a variety of buttons on the cash register. Logan, now itching to get back out to the car, asks, "All good?" The young man replies as he continues to press buttons on the register. "I'm still kinda new here, so, let me just call my manager real quick." Logan swallows nervously. Meanwhile, in the car, Kaden and Ursa wait in tense silence for Logan to come back. Not necessarily because Logan was taking an unusually long time or that the sentries could wreak havoc on them at any given moment. Kaden was just scared to make small talk with Ursa. Talking to girls wasn't something he did all too often.
I hope you will excuse me for this, but I have a question for you. Your name is Kaden, correct?
Yes. Kaden nods while briefly glancing back at her. "Kaden Boner. Boone! My last name is Boone. Yep, Kaden Boone. That's my name." A short and quiet chuckle escapes Ursa's nostrils.
Okay then, Kaden Boone. Thank you. I was unsure given that Logan sometimes refers to you as Cade.
I mean, either one works, but only my close friends really call me Cade. But you can call me that if you'd like.
So I take it you are very close with your brother? I presume he is your brother, that is.
Yeah, he's my brother. I guess you could say we're close.
You sound so unsure.
Well, it's just... I don't know. It's complicated. This is the first time I've seen him or even talked to him in months. I don't know what to think of it. Ursa nods slowly. He used to pull these stupid pranks on me like jump scares and pissing in my shoes. Kaden shakes his head.
He did what to your shoes?
You know, he peed in them. I had to go to school barefoot.
Why would he do such a thing?
Because he's a jerk. Kaden stares disdainfully in the direction of the convenience store.
I do not understand. He seems to care so much about you.
Like I said, I don't know what to think about it. Kaden takes a deep breath and shakes his head. Thanks for saving me back there, by the way. You know, at the hospital.
Of course.
Ursa says before giving a wry smile.
I should be thanking you, though. It is not often that I need assistance, especially from humans, so I am grateful that you and your brother answered the call so willingly.
Kaden looks back at her and they lock eyes for a moment. Ursa quickly looks down. Kaden couldn't help but smile. He was actually talking to a girl. Suddenly, he hears a gas nozzle get replaced just seconds before Logan re-enters the car. Yo, what took so long? Doesn't matter, let's get going. As Logan pulls out of the gas station and back onto the highway, Ursa scrupulously looks back and forth between the brothers. After about another hour of driving, the three arrive at Logan's apartment. They burst through the door and rush inside. Logan hurries across the small living room and into his bedroom, where he snatches a set of clothes from his creaky dresser before rushing up to Ursa and handing them to her. Here, put these on. Bathroom's over there. Then he immediately runs back into his room, grabs an empty backpack, and starts filling it with clothes and toiletries.
Alright then,
Ursa says before entering the bathroom. Kaden steps over to the window and peeks through the blinds. Hey, isn't it kinda weird that we haven't seen those guys at all? Maybe, Logan replies while grabbing a metal baseball bat from his closet. It's a welcome mystery for sure. But what if they're planning something horrible? It should be fine, just as long as they don't know where we are. Logan enters the living room, places his full backpack onto the couch, and promptly zips it up. Then they hear the bathroom door open, and Ursa comes out, now donning a pair of black basketball shorts and a blue 1978 Foreigner World Tour t-shirt. Of course, both articles of clothing were large and baggy on her. I know they're not practical, Logan comments, but it should do the trick for now.
Thank you, Logan,
Ursa replies, holding her arms up and looking down at the outfit.
I do appreciate the steady airflow.
Awesome, Logan says. And where's the hospital gown?
I left it on the toilet seat.
Logan quickly goes and retrieves it. Alright, we gotta hold on to this or throw it away somewhere that'll throw the police off. However useful Logan's law-evading skills were, it worried Kaden, and all he could think of was Logan's old hobbies because of it. Here, Ursa, Logan says, I got some sandals you can wear.
There is no need. I hardly ever wear shoes.
Oh, okay. Let's get a move on then. The group then re-enters the car and they speed off down the I-15 corridor. After about 4 hours of driving and another stop for gas, it had since become dark outside, and the city lights emitting from Idaho Falls were growing closer and closer. Yet, even after all this time, there was still no sign of the sentries. This left Kaden brimming with tremendous anxiety. Where were they? As Kaden and Ursa stared out the window, Logan's eyes began to drift off and flutter. Then he started to slow down and merge into the other lane, causing a fast-approaching semi-truck driver to blare their horn. Kaden immediately notices this. Logan! Logan jerks awake and promptly steers back into the correct lane. Oh, sorry about that. As Logan rubs his eyes, Kaden asks, Do you need to pull over? No, I'm good. I just need some tunes. He puts on an assortment of 80s rock music and cranks it up to full volume before causing the AC to blast at his face. However, after a couple of minutes, he started to doze off again. Ah! Cade, you're gonna have to take the wheel. What? No, I can't. Not if you're asleep. You're supposed to supervise me. Come on, it'll be fine. You know how to drive. Kaden scrambles to find any excuse to not get behind that wheel. But I've never driven at night before. What? All you have to do is go straight. It's like the same thing. Come on, we're all pretty tired here. Let's just pull over. What? You've been freaking out about those guys catching up to us all day, and now you want to stop? Ursa recognizes the tension building between the two and says,
Logan, I think it will be okay if we stopped for a few minutes.
Seriously?
Yes. We have not seen any sentries for a substantial amount of time. I think it is safe enough for you to rest a little.
Logan sits in silence for a second. Okay, if you say so. He pulls over onto the shoulder of the road, turns on the hazard lights, pulls out his phone, and sets an alarm for 30 minutes. Will someone please wake me up if this doesn't? Kaden also closes his eyes, but after a few seconds, he opens them up, turns around, and sees that Ursa is still wide awake. Aren't you gonna sleep?
No, I am not tired. Besides, I may as well remain on the lookout for danger.
Okay, he says as he turns back around and closes his eyes. Kaden didn't expect to get much sleep, given that he was still nervous about the sentries tracking them down, but he thought he might as well take the opportunity to rest his eyes. As he struggled to remove the thought of the sentries from his mind, flashes of red and blue light burst across his vision, sending him back to the old building with Maverick. Oh no, not again! Kaden starts backing up towards the wall. He sees that he has the same ghostly red and blue appearance that he did before, but it didn't help him feel any less visible. As soon as his back hit the wall, he turned to his right and saw the female sentry who stole the North Pole standing attentively. Her gaze went deeper into the building where Maverick was pacing back and forth, twirling the North Pole in his hand like a baton. "Talk to me," he says. Kaden instinctively turns to his left where the 3 sentries who attacked them were standing.
"We found her,"
the foremost one says.
"but she's with 2 teenagers."
"Well, did you annihilate them?" Maverick asks with a demeaning shake of the head. Kaden gulps.
"No,
The sentry looks down slightly.
we didn't."
"Well, why not? I didn't give you those suits of armor for nothing."
"Sir, they were protected by a force field or something."
"Wait, what?" Maverick stops in his tracks. "You didn't hurt them, did you?" The female sentry shuffles her stance while glancing at the 3 other sentries. Maverick has his face turned away from the 3 sentries, but Kaden could sense a bit of panic in his demeanor.
"No,
The sentry replies.
but I'll be sure not to make the same mistake again, sir."
"No!" Maverick whips around to face them. "Don't hurt them!"
"But sir,
Another sentry says.
wasn't that the plan? To get the girl and destroy anything that gets in our way?"
"Yes, but this is different now." Maverick slams the North Pole into the ground, causing the metal to reverberate. "Those 2 are to her what you guys are to me. But in this case, if you kill them, you kill her. Got it?" The sentries nod eagerly. "Don't lay a finger on them, or it'll be the last thing you ever do! I'm not paying you to bring me a corpse bride!
"Yes, sir. Sorry, sir."
Just find a way to get her discreetly, and call me sire!" Kaden wakes up in a cold sweat, and not just because the AC was blasting. "Oh no." Ursa gives him a concerned look.
What is it?
Before Kaden even had a chance to explain, he heard a loud screeching and popping sound emit from the roof as 2 fiery metal hands reach in and peel it open. "Logan, drive!" Logan jolts in his seat as both the driver's and passenger side doors get ripped off their hinges, and 2 sentries pin Logan and Kaden down to their seats. The sentry on the roof reaches down and clasps Ursa by the shoulders, holding her arms down. They all groan under the pressure they've been put under and each struggle to escape. Ursa manages to free herself, so she blasts the guy above the car. Subsequently, Logan manages to reach the shifter and he floors the car into motion. The sudden momentum causes the sentries to hang helplessly onto the car. Ursa makes several attempts at blasting the sentry above her, but he keeps blocking it with small bursts of fire. Logan, now with his hands free, begins turning the car side to side, trying to shake them off. The sheer speed of the vehicle causes them to soar into Idaho Falls and its evening interstate traffic. Car horns blare as Logan swerves around all the other vehicles like he is driving an F1 race car. The sentry holding Kaden down shouts,
"Just give us the girl and we'll let you go."
"Never!" Kaden shouts as he reaches back, grabs Logan's baseball bat, and swings it as hard as he can at the sentry's helmet, knocking him off a little. He continues to whack him with it, metal clanging against metal. Logan swerves past his semi-truck and says, "This is for my car doors, jerk!" He jerks the steering wheel and slams the driver's side of the car into the concrete barriers lining the road. The sentry's armor makes a terrible screeching sound as it sparks against the concrete, but eventually the sentry lets go and rolls onto the freeway, getting barreled over by the semi-truck behind them. The one on the roof above Ursa finally reaches down, grabs her by the throat, and starts to fly off into the night sky. "Ursa!" With adrenalized rage, Kaden attempts to take another swing at the sentry next to him, but he flies off after the other one. Kaden pokes his head out and looks up into the night sky, where Ursa was being taken further and further up, still being held by her throat as she struggles for breath.
"You're lucky Maverick wants you alive.
The sentry mocks.
You've been such a thorn in my side."
Please!
Ursa struggles for breath as the sentry's warm metal hands scorch her skin.
You don't have to do this!
He gives no response. As they reached an altitude of several hundred feet, he started changing his trajectory. Ursa scrambled to pry the sentry's hands off, and she even tried freezing them, but it did nothing. She was already weak as it is. Then she recalled the mechanical workings of their armor and how it had unfolded from a medallion on their chest. She looks down at the sentry's chest and sees there a circular object embedded in the cavity of the armor's chest plate. She struggled to reach for it at first, but it didn't seem like the sentry noticed, so on the second attempt, she swings herself up and latches onto the medallion. She starts digging her fingers into the borders, forming ice crystals on the inside as she tries to pry it out. The sentry immediately notices this.
Hey, stop that!
The medallion and the armor as a whole begin to spark as Ursa uses all her might to rip it out. The armor deactivates, going cold, and they begin crashing to the earth. They both scream as their descent grows faster and faster, the city's skyline speedily approaching. In a frantic attempt to save them, Ursa musters all her strength and shoots down a snowy blast, creating a large pile of snow. As they crash down into it, the powder shoots forth into a ginormous plume, as if they had just detonated a box full of feathers. Ursa groans as she sits up in the empty parking lot they had just landed on. She sees the sentry a few steps away lying motionless. She grunts as she limps over to him and rips off his helmet. He was unconscious but still breathing. After taking a sigh of relief, she examines the piece of armor she had ripped out and notices the very intricate circuitry on the inside. Her eyebrows furrow as she felt she had seen this kind of workmanship before, but she couldn't place her finger on it. Then, with a loud clanging sound, one of the other sentries lands behind her. She gasps as he slowly starts approaching her. Ursa tries hitting him with an icy blast, but hardly anything comes from her hands. The sentry starts to reach out for her, but she quickly backs away from him.
Enough! There's nowhere to go from here.
She shakes her head in disbelief. She was powerless. As soon as the sentry reaches his arm out, a car barrels into him, ramming him into a nearby brick wall. Leave! Logan backs up a little and rams into the sentry again. Us! His tires skid and smoke against the pavement below. Alone! He does that a few more times until the sentry, in his severely damaged armor, falls limp on the hood of the car. Kaden pokes his head out of the doorless car and looks over at Ursa. You good?
Yes, thank you.
She says as she dusts herself off and walks towards the sentry on the hood of their car. She climbs onto the hood, rips the medallion out of the armor's casing, and then pulls off the man's helmet, revealing him to be the bald guy that threatened Kaden and Logan at the hospital. He looked bruised and had blood dripping from his mouth as he sat on the verge of consciousness. Ursa clutches him by the ear.
We know that Maverick is in Phoenix. Where is he?
I ain't telling you. Ursa yanks on his ear.
Where?
The brothers start to slowly step out of the car as they see Ursa spread frost across the man's ear and face. Ah! The man winces as he tries swinging his heavy arms at Ursa, but she just stomps down on one and holds back the other with her free hand.
Tell me!
No! He'll kill me!
He will not. I can assure you of that.
No, you can't! He's insane!
Are you not his sentry?
I am!
Do you not understand that if you die, so will he?
The sentry's eyes widen. So that's why he didn't want us to kill you. Logan gives his peers a bewildered look, but Kaden knew exactly what the sentry was talking about.
So will you tell us now?
The sentry looks around for a couple seconds and then relaxes. He's at the Tovrea castle. At least, that's where we meet him. Sirens start blaring in the distance, which catches Kaden and Logan's attention.
What does he want?
Ursa, we gotta go, Logan says as the sirens sound like they are growing closer. Ursa pauses for a moment and then looks back at the sentry.
Thank you for your cooperation.
She then grabs the back of his head and slams it down into the hood, knocking him out. Logan quickly climbs back into the driver's seat, but as he shifts the car into gear, the engine makes a host of awkward sounds and completely dies out. No, my baby! Maybe we can fix it, Kaden suggests. We don't have time or tools. Just grab as much as you can and let's get out of here! As the sirens grow ever closer, the three rush to gather as much as they can before booking it out of there. Little do they know that sitting below the passenger seat was Ursa's hospital gown.